What's up, you guys? Welcome to the April 8th edition of NBA 3-Ball presented by Established to Run. I'm your host, Mike Gallagher, getting ready to break down Thursday's games, do a little Friday preview, and talk some fantasy ads in 10 minutes. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe, please. Going to hit the news first as we talk some Rockets and John Wall, who's out on the front end of a back-to-back. That's not surprising. What is interesting is why he's listed as out. It's for Achilles soreness. So this is after on Wednesday, Wall said he had his knee issue, he had a hip contusion, and he had tightness in his hamstring. Now he has an Achilles issue after what he had, in the offseason because he was out. Like, oh my God. It's just, I don't know how he's going to make it through this season. So obviously KPJ is going to be the primary ball handler, has I think 14 or so potential assists per game without Wall. We'll see more Christian Wood, and Olynyk's been awesome. Silas talked about how Olynyk can kind of organize the offense. They're running kind of in and out stuff with him and Wood, so they both look really, really good. I'm almost shocked how effective Kelly Olynyk's fit into this role. It sounds like he's not going anywhere. Pelicans have their injuries. Not a back-to-back either. We've got Brandon Ingram. He is questionable. Sounded like Van Gundy was hopeful, so I think he's closer to doubtful for me. Lonzo questionable with that hip flexor. It's called soreness, so it's not a strain. Popped up on him. Did play through it. I'd be a little nervous. So Kyra Lewis was getting closer. He might play. He might benefit. Obviously, Eric Bledsoe would be out there more. Like I said, I don't think Ingram would play much, so a little bit more James Sanchin, Najee Marshall, and then obviously Zion will just be feasting. And what's a really, really bad matchup against the Sixers. So you really wouldn't be looking to Pelicans unless you're punting with maybe Kyra if he could come back or something like that. Hit the Pacers really quick. We've got Malcolm Brogdon and Domantas Sabonis questionable. Don't forget, Brogdon practiced on Monday. I really think he's going to come back today. Sabonis was kind of in his warm-up gear, so I think he kind of went through warm-ups. Sounds like he's close. Like I mentioned, Miles Turner is probably out for weeks maybe. With that ankle, he's had so many issues with it. So Goga, if Sabonis goes, would still not be a great play. They're not going to run him out there as much, although they might against the Magic. Kind of unlikely. But, the Magic also are getting guys back. Gary Harris also off the injury report. And Clifford said he kind of wanted to run Cole Anthony with R.J. Hampton. So we'll see where these guys even fit. If Bacon gets booted, if Ross starts, whatever it is to find Harris minutes, Otto Porter's still out. So the Magic will be interesting. We know Chuma is going to get a lot of run, and they don't have Ken Birch anymore. So a little bit more run for Wendell Carter Jr. and Bamba. We'll talk about that in a little bit on the Raptors side. Let's get to the basketball action from Thursday, starting with the Heat getting a win, but the headline here is Victor Oladipo suffered a right knee injury late in the game, did not return. It was late in the game, pretty much decided, but X-rays were negative. He's going to get an MRI on this knee on Friday. This is the same knee/quad tendon that he ruptured that's kept him out for a while, so this is scary. So hopefully he's okay. They were in good spirits after the game, so sounds like it might just be a day-to-day thing, but I mean, they have to kind of keep him out if anything is wrong with this knee, any kind of swelling, et cetera, et cetera. So would expect him to miss some time. So that'll help out your Tyler Heroes, Duncan Robinsons, a little bit more Dragic. Maybe we see Kendrick Nunn get back into the mix after he was out of the rotation. Spoelstra talked about that, how he has to stay ready and so on. So here you go. Stay ready. You're back out there. We'll help Ariza out a little bit. Not that he's been very good. Maybe even a little bit more Bielitsa at the 4, which he hasn't really been seeing much time there either. Lakers get Andre Drummond back with that toe issue. Went to the locker room briefly, came back, looked okay. Pretty active. Thought he didn't look bad or good. It was kind of a bad matchup for him, but he was moving well, so that's nice to see. 27 minutes, certainly the highlight there. That's not great news for Montrezl Harrell. That the Lakers almost kind of promised Drummond kind of a role, so I'll see how that affects him. Also news, Kyle Kuzma has a grade 1 strain in his calf, so calf injuries are usually they're cautious with that. It was called tightness, but showing up on the MRI, that usually means games, so he possibly could miss some time. Really, nobody benefited besides Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who kind of turned into almost like the alpha in the offense, so he would benefit. Markieff Morris got ejected, and this team's going to need a lot of people to produce, as well as Dennis Schroeder's going to have the ball in his hands a ton. Bulls get the win in Tampa Bay. Pretty much good all-around game. Great second unit play. A little bit of Laurie at the 3 again. Didn't get a big volume in playing time. Tight rotation for the most part, especially late. Donovan talked about going smaller against the Pacers because they didn't have Turner, and it kind of went that way again. We saw with Troy Brown over Valentine, but nothing really to say here. Kobe White kind of looks more comfortable in that role. He and Markkanen are playing better off each other. Daniel Tice was really good. as far as filling his minutes and being productive and getting really good shots overall. So he could trend up. It's going to be kind of annoying because Vooch will play a bunch and Dad's not going to go away. So it'll be a little bumpy. Just quickly passing Zach LaVine, 13 assists, 5 of them to Lloyd Markkanen. Looked good with Vooch as well. That was what Donovan talked about in the last game. So yeah, certainly not going to be too affected by Vooch arriving. And like we said, Vooch's upside's a little bit capped with how much LaVine kind of runs the offense a little bit. Raptors still missing everyone from injury, and then we found out DeAndre Bembry was suspended, so they ran 8 deep, which allowed Chris Boucher to go off for the best game of his career. Career high 38, career high 19 boards. Nick Nurse wants his offense, and that's how he went to him a ton for offense here. And also we have Kem Birch expected to join the Raptors as soon as he clears waivers. Maybe someone messes with him. But that would affect Boucher a little bit. Certainly would think it'd affect Aaron Baines a little bit more, who's not playing great basketball right now. So it may just be a straight swap. You got to be a little bit concerned about Boucher because there's certain matchups. But I'm honestly more worried about the guards coming back than I am about Birch. So, these guards getting ruled out so quickly is good for Boucher. They're going to need to play him more minutes here. Malachi Flynn, been able to fill the stat sheet on just pure volume here. Gets 35 minutes, and Gary Trent, another guy just chucking. Mistake-prone basketball today is kind of goofing around, while Siakam and OG are kind of just doing their thing right now. Mavs get the win. KP gets the ball late in the fourth. Maxi Kleber returns, look pretty good. Dorian Finney-Smith's defense is insane, man. I talk about it every time in matchup since he returned from those couple games he had for personal reasons. He looks he's unbelievable. You don't want your guys going against Dorian Finney-Smith right now. No Giannis for the third straight game, was ruled out before warm-ups. 2 games ago, he was kind of going through warm-ups and didn't feel great. So, sounds like he's possibly out again today against the Hornets in a back-to-back set. Could be looking at a lot of rest for the Hornets, who are just really bad right now, despite how they got the win in the last game. Middleton got locked down. DFS all day. Drew Holiday was really good. Bobby Portis, big volume here. No surprise. Probably has at least one more shot here as Giannis gets over this knee thing. They've got to be careful. This knee thing kind of hasn't gone away. And Mike Budenholzer talked about that getting him back whole was the way he phrased it is really important right now. Cavs drop 129. Get great games from a lot of people. Taurean Prince, Hartenstein off the bench was really good. And all 5 of their starters had really good games. Sexland was cracking. Kevin Love, looking a little more comfortable. Easy shots all night. Again, this defense is the best, easiest matchup right now. Should add that Larry Nance lost 20 pounds because he's not feeling well, so that's not great. Hope he's okay. And still out with Jared Allen with the concussion. Hopefully he can come back soon. OKC drops this one. Nice bounce back game from Moses Brown with 13-11, stealing a block, good shooting. Love to see that. Was never really worried. Kenrich Williams filled it up, got cut in the eye, still returned, looked fine. Alexa Pokashevsky played through that hip thing. Got hot early, struggled with the shot overall. This is going to happen, we know that. And Ty Jerome was really good off the bench. That'll happen. OKC will probably start getting guys back, so we'll see what happens and how that affects everybody else. Pistons get the win. No Jeremy Grant for knee injury. No Mason Plumlee for a concussion. So pick up Isaiah Stewart, period. We saw Corey Joseph start, played great. Revenge game season. Closed out, was awesome. Killian Hayes played really well in his 21 minutes. Didn't close. Got pulled out with 6 minutes left. I was a little upset about that. Thought he'd be able to get into the upper 20s. Did not, so he's still capped. Frank Jackson took his minutes. Did not play great at all, so hopefully he just goes away. And also Dennis Smith Jr. started, but didn't play well overall. Killian's going to keep coming for him. They had Killian on ball more in this game too, so that'll kind of be a trend to watch going forward. Lineup change for the Kings is Mo Harkless. How could you be Mo Harkless starting over Tyrese Halliburton? It was because they wanted to keep that closing lineup with Halliburton out there later, which did close. Halliburton made a lot of good plays, made this kind of close. No concern there. He'll be fine. Harkless will be eating more to the guards. Harkless isn't really an ad either, as Rashawn Holmes got into some foul trouble today. Utah bounce back game, and Donnie Mitch with 37, as that included me. Awesome game as usual. No Jordan Clarkson, so a little more Ingles off the bench. Kind of carried them there to up the other minutes for some of the other starters. A little bit of Georgia Chiang, nothing really to see there. Blazers kind of got handled. Nurk's still on that minutes list, but did return from that knee thing. Probably not playing in that one of the 2 back-to-back games coming up, so keep an eye on that. Let's get to the ads, and Isaiah Stewart has to kind of be rostered until we know Mason Plumlee's back. I think Killian Hayes is still trending up. I thought he played great today. Made a lot of really good passes that weren't connected for dimes on his teammates. Malachi Flynn, maybe he runs out here, but no reason to keep him out on wires. Dorian Finney-Smith just play under own. Daniel Tice, same thing. He's in the midst of a 4 games in 5 nights kind of a thing. Has that little Sunday, Monday back-to-back. If you need to finish up this week and start next week with a game, makes sense. Hartenstein and Wade, for the same reasons we've been talking about. KCP, if you want to kind of bet against Kuzma, which is a pretty good bet to make, none on Oladipo. Same thing with Markieff Morris. And then Corey Joseph, maybe Jeremy Grant misses time. Looks like he's the guy right now. That's it. Enjoy the weekend.